Hi, my name is Reverend Lauren Kyle Boyle, and this video is all about sharing the Holy Spirit's practice with me so that I can give you an idea of how I spend my day with the Holy Spirit. And it's a practice that the Holy Spirit set up for me because I see that once I give my willingness to the Divine Comforter given to us all by God to be our teacher, our counselor, our comforter, then the Holy Spirit now can come into my life because I've invited the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit can't come in until I am willing to be teachable, willing to let go of everything I think I know, so that I can have the divine counsel, which is always going to give me greater peace and love and the experience of happiness. Because that is happiness. God is happiness. Our spirit is happiness. And if we're disconnected from our spirit, then we're disconnected from our wisdom, from our peace, and from our joy. It's like a mind body separated from spirit is like a frightened child seeking for fulfillment everywhere, happiness and peace everywhere, in relationships, in jobs, and in stuff, in money, and seeking really for union again with spirit, which is the source of happiness. So the mind body brought back to spirit is a human being that is reconnected to its true identity and to the source of life and love. That is what it is as well, because God is love and therefore so are we. So we're spiritual beings and we're here to extend the love that we are, and we share that with each other. And if we're not giving love to one another, we're not experiencing the love we are, and so we're sad. So all happiness is in giving the love and the peace and the joy and the kindness to each other, which of course is giving it to ourselves. As we give, we experience it. So the Holy Spirit's practice has really been about that, really cultivating extension. And that just means that in every moment I become mindful and I extend kindness and peace and love because I value it. And what I give, I receive. So my day is all about giving it up to the extension of my gifts. And each of us has God's gifts, which are love and peace and joy. But we won't know that until we give it. And so the Holy Spirit is always in my mind, reminding me if I'm feeling separation anxiety, that it's because I am allowing a loveless thought to lead my mind and lead my experience. So now I can stop and be mindful and ask the Holy Spirit to take over. And that simply means inspire me, give me a higher thought. I ask for peace, because what we ask for, we shall receive. And one of the most powerful um, experiences I have with the Holy Spirit is I become intentional. I realize that what I value is happiness, and that is not what I'm doing, but who I'm being. And what I do has nothing to do with who I am, but how I do my doing, is going to be reflective of whose voice I'm listening to. So if I'm listening to the Holy Spirit's voice, which is my true voice, my soul's voice, God's voice within me, love's voice, then I'm going to be having loving and happy experiences. But as long as I'm listening to fear's voice, which is that, frightened, abandoned mind that's seeking for love, recognition, and approval, well, then I'm going to be receiving that as my experience. So it's about me choosing to be in touch with the Holy Spirit, the source of love within me, and being that in all my doing. So the doing but is an expression, an opportunity for my self-expression. My job, my vocation reflects my beingness, and whatever we're doing is simply a vehicle for that expression. It's not the source of our happiness, it is but a vehicle. And so the Holy Spirit is very clear about keeping the mind in touch with what's real. Spirit is real. Objects and form are nothing. They have no meaning other than the service to spirit, which is to the service of happiness and harmoniousness. And so my practice is about stepping back and asking the Holy Spirit to lead the way. And I begin the day often by saying, Holy Spirit, you be in charge of this day, because I cannot plan the day you can plan for me, because all I'll plan is the past, and I'll keep having the past. It's like Groundhog Day over and over. But when I invite the Holy Spirit, of course, that's the higher self that sees everything and sees, like from the eagle's perspective, versus the little mouse, running around in the grass. You have an experience of joy. You start to get a sense of greater possibility and truer potentiality. You're moved out of the same old, same old. You just start having synchronicity in your life, where people come into your life and you see them in a greater way. You see them as beautiful beings of love and light, and that they're here to serve their gifts in whatever form they've come to do that in. And everyone has a different self-expression, and so you start to see in a greater way. You start to have a more clear vision of what it is that you love. You're following your heart. You feel inspired and creative, and you can ask for inspiration. You can ask for whatever it is you'd like to experience. Often I ask for very high states of divine consciousness, because I've experienced peace and I've experienced kindness. So I may ask for grace. I may ask to know grace. I may ask to know God's glory, which of course is in me, because what I'm experiencing is not separate from me. So what I'm asking for in my experience is to experience an aspect of my divine self. So we're all individuated aspects of the divine, experiencing ourselves, as these beings of love. And we have different aspects that we're cultivating. Some of us are maybe more in tune to the reverent, and others more in tune to the playfulness. We each have these divine aspects that we've chosen to cultivate in this lifetime. So the Holy Spirit helps us to remember our soul's purpose, that why we are here is to cultivate these beautiful divine qualities and experience them and know them as what we are, because what we have, we also are. So it moves, the Holy Spirit's whole purpose is to move us out of just the constructs. You can read books and you'll find all kinds of wonderful insights, but it's the experience that we want. So the Holy Spirit helps to bring forth the experiences that the books and the teachings, the religions are pointing to. And these are but bridges. Books and religious teachings and spiritual practices are bridges to the experience of our kind and beautiful and loving self, playful and joyful and harmonious. So the Holy Spirit's job is to bring us to the experience of what we are and help us to fulfill our soul's purpose. So thank you, and look for further videos, as my Dharma, my soul's purpose, is to also help other souls to remember their purpose and not get caught up in jobs and all kinds of worldly things that are but vehicles for their self-expression, because it's like getting caught up in a career keeps you from realizing your purpose. It's not about the money. It's not about the recognition. It's not about being the best. There's no such thing. At the level of the soul, our only purpose here is to know ourself and our own experience as peace and love and joy and happiness, and to extend that and share that, because all beings are all equal at the level of our soul. So blessings and peace to you. Namaste. The Spirit in me honors the Spirit in you, and I know we are one.